Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into Paycheck 1. If you've already seen my monthly budget, you kind of know what's going on, but this is how I break it down so I can just focus on what cash I have on hand, actual cash, when I pay my bills and I'm looking at my spending. So this is how I keep track of it, along with a weekly check-in, and it works beautifully together when I combined all these budgets. Before the month of September hit, I did do a monthly budget and I made sure I had enough income coming in to cover all the expenses that are supposed to go out, including spending categories, and I had a little bit of a buffer. So what you're going to see here is just half the bills that happened from the 1st through the 15th. Not half the bills, I should say. Just the bills that happened 1st through the 14th, I should say. And then when my husband gets paid again on the 15th, the rest of the bills of the month, and then the rest of the spending categories. So I do split my categories, spending categories in half when I do plan, because that helps keep me in focus, that I am not overspending in categories and just blowing all the money at the first of the month. I still have money left over going through the rest of the month. So that's just my strategy on how I plan and budget. My husband is retired military. He was in the Navy for 20 years, so he gets a military retirement check, and that is $1,898.12. VA disability is another check he gets from his time in service, and that's $2,428.91. These don't really change except for when the cost of living adjustment happens at the end of the year going into January of next year. Our son pays us rent, $803. Sometimes we get some pennies with dividends. I'm filming this a little early, so I don't know what our dividends are yet, but I will put that in the actual column when the time comes. My husband's salary, I'm guessing on what this is going to be because he got a 5% pay raise in the month of August, which we are ecstatic about. You'll see why. $1,349 is what I am planning on. This is exactly what he got in July. Well, not exactly, but just about what he got in July. So this was like middle of, if I took both paychecks and divided them by 2, it was $1,3449, or I'm sorry, $1,349. Very happy. So this is $0, 0 cents. I do not plan or budget for balance forward unless I know the actual number. I don't have that quite yet, so I put 0. This also doesn't keeps me from actually using cash from a previous month into the next month unless I know it was still sitting in the bank account. So I'm not counting on it. I'm not budgeting for it. I just leave it at 0. God's Outreach is part of a tithing, 9506, and then Pregnancy Help Center to help women who are pregnant and need help. Amazon Music, $10.59. That's my husband's subscription. Sinking funds, I'm moving over $592.85 in sinking funds. So my sinking funds are yearly or quarterly expenses, and or like birthday, Christmas, things like that I have planned for. And I will have a sinking fund setup video coming up and soon after this video, so hopefully within a week. Not sure if it's going to be up before the 9th, but the 9th of September is my Mortgage Monday video. So go ahead and mark your calendar for that, because everybody loves that video. I like to show what an extra principal only payment does to the mortgage, as well as how much you're saving in interest and how much your mortgage can drop faster, how far ahead you are on your amortization schedule. So that is coming up sometime on the 9th of September, and I'm excited to do that one. I always get excited the end of the one month going into the next because I know that video is coming. Spectrum this month is $174. I hope to make changes by October and just do internet only and not have the cable and the phone and all the things. It's just the price fluctuates way too frequently. I think if I did internet only, I don't think it's going to fluctuate as much. Mortgage, That's also going to change. I mentioned this in my mortgage, or not my mortgage, my monthly budget video. it's that time of year where they adjust the escrow for property taxes, and our property value's been going up pretty good. And the more it goes up, the more the property tax I have to pay, which is fine, but I need to make decisions on that and how it's going to affect the mortgage and the actual numbers. This is $2,522.99. If you subtract $550 from that, that is what our actual mortgage is that I am required to pay. That has our principal payment, as well as our interest payment, as well as the homeowner's insurance and the property tax. So it's all one monthly thing, and it's right there. And that's probably going to change. So it's a good thing my husband got a pay raise. So it's probably going to take up the pay raise. I hate thinking it that way, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So $50 here for water. I adjust high for water. Not that we spend that much, $35 usually a month, unless we have guest stay, which is not very often, and then it may go up $5, $10 a month. This allows me to have a buffer in the checking for the electric when it fluctuates up and down. The Greater Europe Mission is another tithe to the VA disability. That's $256.75. Tithe. This tithe comes from the salary. Not comes from it. I guess I should say the tithing. We're tithing the salary check. Basically, is what we're doing. $168.80. And we also include any processing fees and stuff like that. We pay that. We don't make the organization pay that. Dash Pass is $9.99. We actually save money using this because we always use DoorDash for our deliveries of food in different restaurants. And it does work out, even if we're just doing it for our son's Friday night pizza night. It's great to have when my husband and I are home and my kids need a meal and I'm not there to cook and they're not ready to cook yet. So yeah, that's definitely handy to have, and we can always send what we need. HP Instant Ink is $7.41 for the printing I do. YouTube Premium, that is $24.92, and the family is loving that. Geico is our car insurance, $177.24. There we go. All right, so that is what I have in bills for the first half of the month, the 1st through the 14th. So once I know that number, then I know exactly what I have left over to cover the spending categories for this first half, and then balance forward what's left to cover the rest of the bills and the spending categories for the second half of the month. So this is a really good way to just keep eye on my budget and keep me using cash and not credit for the future. So let's go ahead and put the budget amount for all the variable expenses, if you want to call it that, but this is spending categories. I'm going to do 800 here. We're going to do 250 here. We'll see how well we do in restaurants. I'm not sure. Let's see. We're going to do 150 for miscellaneous. We're going to do 125 for gasoline. And copay is going to be $75. We had doctor's appointments at the end of August that are going to be billed, or we're going to use the money from September to pay for. So I kind of have copay a little higher than normal. So 0 is our unbudgeted because I never planned for it. And that's only if we have a buffer in the checking account that we actually spend from. So we'll have to wait and see if we're going to use that. I try to avoid that right now. Because if you saw my monthly budget video, you saw that we only have a buffer of like $17 and some change. That's our buffer, $17.44. So there's not really a buffer to play with and buy extra things that we would like or whatever. So yeah, that's not what we're doing this month. Let's go ahead and get the calculator out here and start totaling all these numbers up and come up with a balance forward for Paycheck 2. You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. Okay, I have $6,479.03 as my income. I have $4,177.98 as my fixed bill expenses, and then my variable is $1,400, leaving me $901.05. So balance, budget balance forward is going to be 90105. There we go. So these are just budgeted amounts. These aren't actuals. Actuals, when they come, when the deposits are made and when the money moves out, I write in the actuals as they happen. I check my bank account every day. I just take 5 minutes out of my morning. I look at it and write it all down, and then I move on with my day. Very simple. Not everybody has time to do that. And if that is a struggle with you, I would try to find a time where you can create a habit and stack it on top of another habit, where you are sitting down and working on something or doing something. That might be a good time to add that into it. You might have to put reminders in your phone. You might have to put notes down on your calendar or whatever. But tracking your budget every few days or so, or at least once a week, makes it a lot less overwhelming to actually keep in mind what you actually have cash available to spend. That's the hardest part. People are swiping their card and not realizing how much money they actually have and what's left, and they're either overdrawn or they're using these line of credits or whatever, and they're paying outrageous interest to cover it. And really, if they just took the time to look and see, oh, I can't spend right now, but I can spend in a few days later, and delay gratification and practice that, it will make it so much easier knowing the numbers in order to live the lifestyle you desire. That's how we came up with ours, and it's been working so far. So I'm still really happy with budgeting and how it takes care of me and my family, and we don't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars in fees every month for loans and credits and all the things that are so expensive. It just eats away at your budget. So yeah, I'm thankful for budgeting. So this is my Paycheck 1 budget. We have $901 to go over, which is about what I want in order to go into the next pay period. Paycheck 2, and this is what I'll be working with while I'm doing my weekly check-ins. I should have 2 weekly check-ins for Paycheck 1 and 3 weekly check-ins for Paycheck 2. So that is how that's going to work this month, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye. And you got me too. You can ride all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away.